Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back again doing your November 2015 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Gemini. And I'm back again using my regular Shadowscapes deck by Stephanie Pre-Moon Law. And I am still doing private readings, so feel free to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com, and that's OLSON if you'd like to set up a private reading. I do love my Gemini clients. I always feel like we click so well, and we communicate so well. So feel free to reach out to me. I'm excited. I love everyone. But Geminis and I just click. It's easy, so it's fun. Yeah, so if you'd like to know more about my pricing and payment and schedule, you can check the About section on my YouTube channel. I do charge $75 per hour, and I have 1-hour sessions. I take PayPal only, and usually for clients in the United States, I do phone sessions, and I offer for international clients phone and Skype. So that said, and I did enable the fan funding link on my channel, so if you'd like to donate to my channel and support my channel, I'd really appreciate it. You don't have to, but I am just putting it out there because it does make a huge difference in allowing me to continue to do these videos, because they do take up a lot of time, as other YouTubers would say. But my videos are very, very long, so it takes me several days to record my videos, which is a lot of time. So let's just see what you get for November. Now, the key word here for you guys is fun, okay? Because pretty much the entire spread is very in character, okay? Very much in character. With you, who you are as a person, and with Geminis in general, okay? The first two cards, which I really like to see. And it's interesting because nobody else really got this many fun cards. And it's kind of a shame because, it's Thanksgiving for those people who live in the United States. We're celebrating Thanksgiving. And I would think that there would be more people focused on having fun, but I guess not. That's not why. So the card that you have right out of the gate is the Page of Wands, okay? And the heartbeat of the reading, the track that you're on in this moment, the beginning of November, is the Page of Wands. And that's getting up and going, and being active, and being social, and getting out there, okay? This is the universe's way of saying, go for it, okay? You may be in a relationship with a Taurus, okay? Because this came up with Taurus also too, but I'm getting a tingle on that. But you also have the Three of Cups crossing you, and the Three of Cups is going out and being social. So you have the go for it, very active, fiery, charged up Page of Wands, which can indicate a person, but most of the time I don't see it as a person. If you are very young, this could be you in some instances, who's very active. You may have a little bit of ADD, or you in general, could be a guy or a girl, have a little bit of ADD where there's almost a little bit of overactivity, just a lot of fire energy, okay? But at the same time, you also may be going on a lot of dates. If you are single and you're dating, this is you dating a lot. Hanging out with a lot of friends. Geminis, they usually have friends. They usually have a lot of friends. And if you're a Gemini and you don't have a lot of friends, you need to really work on that, because that's part of your life, lesson. So it's like you block your blessings if you don't have friends. Same with Aquarius too. They need to have friends. They need to have people around they can talk to and hang out with and shoot the breeze with, So anyway, so the Three of Cups is also having, needing to be more social and go out. And if you're kind of one of those homebody Geminis, this is the universe saying go out and have fun. This is girl time too. This is, I used to say the Sex and the City card, hang out with your girlfriends, needing some girl time. This is going out for a glass of wine, or going out to a bar or a club or a restaurant. It doesn't have to be where there's alcohol involved. A lot of times though, this is where there is alcohol involved, but in a healthy, one kind of glass in a way, okay? We're not talking about the whole bottle here. But this is fun, fun, fun. I like to see this. And you have the Six of Cups crowning you, which means, you are very focused on your family. If you have kids, you're focused on your kids. You may need to, I want to say stop worrying about your finances, because there's money flowing in. Money is going to flow in, so stop worrying about that. You need to open your mind and think bigger picture. Think bigger thoughts. Think, instead of thinking mundane, small thoughts of, groceries, gas, laundry, dishes. We're talking, think, what are my goals? What are my plans? What are my dreams for the future? There's almost an over-focus a lot of times on your kids. If you do have kids, there's almost a little bit too much of a focus on them. You need to have more you time. You need to have more time with your friends where you're going out and having a good time and more fun. And it's interesting because a lot of moms feel guilty when they have fun, when they do things and they think about themselves. But it's important that you do so. It's healthy for us to balance out our need for fun, our need to spend time with our family, our need for intimate relationships. All these things need to be balanced out. So there's more to life, I want to say, Gemini, than just your children. There's more to life than just the gas, the dishes, the laundry, the groceries, the mundane aspects of life. You need to start thinking bigger, and it doesn't have to happen now where you implement those things, but in November you have the energy to do it. So if you should have a goal that you want to accomplish, this is a good time to do it. If there is something that you've wanted to do for a long time, now is the time, okay? The key word for you is now, Gemini, now, okay? It's interesting because, I was talking about work-life balance just a moment ago, and in the recent past, you have the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is, to me, the work-life balance issue. And I feel like in your case, it's work-life balance issues, maybe over-focus on work or over-focus on your kids, or, and not really doing very much in life, okay? And it's interesting because I had a client recently who had me start to think about our culture and our society a little bit, where I feel like it was lost on her a little bit in understanding the definition of life, what it means to live life where, it's not about career, and it's not about family, and it's not about the things, the objectification, but then she went on that track of, but I want it all, which is I want the family, and I want the kids, and I want the house, and I want all that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with the stuff. It's just that's not necessarily what life is all about. It is about those things. And a lot of times we as a culture get stuck we in a way become to label ourselves as the career woman, or as the mother, or as the housewife, or as the sister, or as the mom, or as the dad, or as the brother, or as the cousin. We label ourselves and say, and in a way limit ourselves, not because, and we fall into categories, but not because of, it is sometimes outside influence, but because we are limiting ourselves in a way, and because of ourselves, okay? We don't see ourselves as more. We don't see ourselves as doing something else. we don't really know what life's about if it's not about those labels. If it's not about career, if it's not about the housewife, and it's not about going back or not being able to have both. It's about stop with the labels. Stop labeling yourself and putting yourself into one category, okay? Or into any category, okay? My challenge to this person was, if you had $1 million and you had a great career and you had a great husband, you had a great family, and you had a great life, okay, who would you be? What would you do? And where would you go? What is life really about? That's my question to you, Gemini. What is life really about? Because to me, it's not really about having it all. It's about who you are. It's about who you are in the world. It's about how much love you share. It's about what you share. It's about what you do. Not as a career, not as the labeled housewife, not as a labeled mother, not as the labeled, anything. And it's not about the stuff. Push it all away. Push that all aside and say, what am I here for? What is my purpose? What do I want? Because all that stuff, whatever it is, and stuff includes being a mother. It does include being the wife. It does include being all of these labeled things. And I'm not saying that it's bad to want those things, and it's not saying that it's bad to want both career and to be a mom or to be a dad. It's not any of those things. It's life is more than those things together. So say you do have it all. That's not all there is. That isn't. Not even by a tiny little fraction. So it's kind of hard for people in our culture to really grasp, because people in our culture are labeled as the career woman or as the mother. And the ones that do have it all, in a way they're a little bit lost as well, because they're not sure what they want or what their purpose is. It's almost like when you get to be, you may be older, so you may get to a point where you're, 60, 61, and you may have it all. You may have been a great dad, a great father, a great husband. You may have a great business and balanced everything. But now you're going into a period of your life where you're calling into question, who am I in the world really? And what am I really doing? And what is it that I really want? So, you may have been a mom for 20 years. And you still may have had a career for those 20 years. But you are going into question, like, what is my purpose? What do I want to do with my life? So it's important to think, especially for those who are younger, not just older, not to think about categories. You can have it all, but also you need to focus on life. Not being in a category per se. The life that you live is not about the category. That's all I'm going to say. And I do feel like, in the immediate future, you have the Magician, which is being focused on work. Being focused on, maybe being the Mr. Fix-It. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you work with your hands. Maybe you're an electrician. Maybe you're somebody who does a lot of paperwork, or somebody who's on the computer all the time, or somebody who's some kind of technician, This is the focus. Work is the focus. So it's like you do have work-life balance. You do have, I feel like you're going to have some work-life balance in the future, but you do oscillate from going career, home, career, home. It's just, there's something going on with you about that. And you do have the King of Swords as the foundation, which is interesting when this shows up as the foundation, which means somebody is looking out for you. Someone's around you, okay? This is a deceased loved one who's around you. It's not they're up here looking down. They're right next to you. And for those of you who are looking for work, you do have the Eight of Pentacles card, which is about, this is the job card, Okay, so if those of you who are looking to get a job, this bodes very well. That combined with the Magician bodes very, very well for your career. And career is the focus. Or it will, I should say, it will be in the focus middle of November. You will be very focused and very busy, most likely, with your career. You'll just have to work on, again, I feel like there's some kind of, like, I want to say some of you are a little bit obsessive compulsive, where you have that Scorpio kind of obsession with things, and sort of like that obsession with home life and that obsession with work. It's sort of like, it's like you're focused on one or the other, but you're really not able to focus both. So for whatever reason, it's just sort of like you can't really multitask. I feel like some of you are really poor multitaskers, very poor multitaskers. You may have kids though too, which may be very distracting for you. And other things that are distracting. I feel like you do get distracted very easily, okay? Again, that's why I want to say you have a little bit of ADD, some of you are OCD and, as well, and some of you are, I want to say workaholics in some cases. Not every case, but some cases. You may be the person that's the boss, and, is putting a lot of pressure on your employees. You may be the spider, that's just, money, 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 money. How can I make more money? And you may be the critter who's, getting his blood drained every day. You know what I'm saying? Holding out their arm and saying, okay, take as much as you need, boss. See you later. Have a great night, You give me as much work as you want, boss. Just pile it on. Why not, That's kind of, you may be in a job that you feel just stuck in, like you want to leave, but you, for whatever reason, financially can't do it. So you're just stuck doing it. But this is also communication. Anybody who works with computers or anybody, I feel like there's a lot of computer people here. Anybody who's doing, electronic things, again, there's a strong electronic vibe here. This is the computer programmers, the graphic designers, the people who work for the phone company. This is the communication. This is phone communication, email communication. A lot of you get like 1 million emails a day. Like me, you get like 1 million emails a day. I do want to say, everybody, just so you guys know, I get 1 million emails a day. If I get to a place where if I get to 15 emails with somebody back and forth and I have not scheduled, I will not be scheduling, okay? That I will not be able to book you because it gets to be too much. The whole point of me emailing people is to try to schedule people. I do try to respond to everybody, but there are so many that I can't get to everything. And I apologize in advance about that, but it is something where, again, if I get to 15 emails, I start to get frustrated, which is why I don't book somebody after that many. It's just impossible for me to keep up with it. Finances. So the focus is career finances mid-November, let's just say, okay? And then you're off on holiday because you got the travel card. So you're going away, most likely for Thanksgiving. You may be traveling. This is also moving. Some of you want to move or are planning some kind of move. You're trying to, this is dreaming big. So it's sort of like you go from, beginning of November, maybe not really doing much or wanting to do much. You're just like, okay, I want to stay home. I want to focus on the kids. I want to, do my laundries and dishes in peace. Please leave me alone. And then later, you kind of get this fired up energy towards the end of November to go and do other things. And maybe you travel, and maybe you do spend time with relatives, but maybe you start to think bigger. You start to think, okay, do I really want to live in this apartment? Do I really want to stay in this house? What is it that I really want to do? And then you move, okay? You may move very quickly. It may come to you. You may end up moving faster than you think, okay? You may end up moving in November is what I'm trying to say, okay? Some of you, it might not happen until December, but you may end up moving in November. The outcome is the Five of Wands, which is interesting because this is beating the world up with a stick. This is the card about, things piling up and everything has gone to shit. Everything's a shit festival. Fighting your way through, having a lot to do, and not a lot of time to do it in, okay? There's a lot of fire energy here, again, for you in November. So whatever's going on with you planetarily, Gemini, you've got the fire, to get everything that you want to get done. But you may feel like there's almost too many things for you to get done that you can't do it all, okay? And like I always say when it comes to this card, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's all right if you don't finish it all. Focus, and this is hard, but focus one day at a time, getting as much as you can done. Prioritize, do it, focus. A lot of times I tell people to focus on doing one thing, and I know it seems ridiculous, but make that day, okay, you're doing your laundry that day. The following day, you're going to be working on your bills. The following day, you're going to go shop and do groceries. The following day, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, get organized. I feel like Geminis could use a little page out of like a Virgo's book. If you could team up with a Virgo, that would be awesome. Because Virgos are really meticulous and organized and put together. So my suggestion to you is get organized. Clean the house, okay? Because any kind of clutter is going to really distract you from what you need to do. And know that this isn't going to last forever. Your problems are not going to last forever. But the problem that I feel you're going to find is that there's too many things you need to get done. And the faster you're trying to get through them all, the worse it's going to make it for yourself. And you can't beat yourself up on the things there's going to be things you're not going to be able to do. There's going to be bills you're not going to be able to pay. Let it go. That's the best thing. And then you're going to start to stress out a little bit about, or feeling stuck, feeling like you can't, there's some kind of element of restriction. There's some kind of karmic element going on with you. Because you got the Devil, plus you got the Eight of Swords. What was that card, though? Is this the Pisces again? Or is this the Aries? I don't remember. I don't know. I think it would be a Pisces. If you're in a relationship with a Pisces, Gemini, message me. If you're in a relationship with an Aries, message me. I just don't remember. It could be Capricorn as well. The thing is, to me, the cards are speaking less to be about the signs and more about the message. To me, the message here for you is at the end of November, going into December, there is sort of like, I want to say, some element of restriction because of karma. So you may want to move forward, you may want to move, but for whatever reason, you've got too many things going on that make it so you're unable to do so. There's an element of greed here. The message is greed. It's almost like the more you want, the less you're going to have. The more you go about things in the same way that you've always done, the worse it will be. So there's some kind of karma here going on. And you also have the free will, too. So there's karma and then free will. You need to, in some circumstance, in some aspects of your life, make things happen. And in the other aspects of your life, stop controlling it, okay? So you actually may have Virgo in your chart, or some Taurus or some Capricorn in your chart as well, because you have two things going on. You have this, in a way, Capricornian or Taurian or Virgo style need to control. But at the same time, the more you control, the worse it gets. But at the same time, you have the Gemini, in a way, complacency, which is sort of like, and I'm not saying all Geminis are complacent here, so please don't get me wrong. But it's more like you have a little bit of that sort of, I want to say, passive kind of things come to me, things will come to me, things are just going to come to me, and you sit back and you don't necessarily figure out what it is that you want. You don't make the decision for yourself to figure out what it is that you want and go for it. You don't go for it, which is what you need to do, because you have this here card, the Page of Wands, which is the universe saying you need to go for it. But so it's sort of just like you want to control. You want the ultimate control. You want to pick the thing that's going to make everything okay, and that's not the best way to go. That they're two very difficult elements going on, two very difficult to manage, okay? It's hard because the lesson here is not about, free will does not mean, okay, I'm just going to go out and do whatever. Free will means making good choices. Because if you make a poor decision, then, you have to, in a way, you made your bed, you need to lie in it kind of thing. Which I don't really believe that, because we always have the power to choose. But in your case, it's almost like poor decision after poor decision leading to a shit festival. Life being kind of harder than it has to be. And then you getting all worked up about having to control it all, and like it having to be perfect, or it having to be idyllic, or having to be that dream. Rather you need to see it as there's different things in life that, I should say, it's hard for me to, there's lessons in life that don't have, that are about letting go. And there are lessons in life about good choices. And those are your lessons. The more you let go and you let God and you follow the signs, because to me the Magician is about following the signs, making good choices and following the signs. But also figuring out who you are and not doing things because other people want you to do them, but because you want to do them, and figuring it out for yourself. In a way, it's a very challenging lesson, because it's almost like a child that needs to grow by going through it the hard way, the school of the hard knocks. And there's some karma here, which means it's not going to be easy, because that's not what you're here to learn. That's not what's going to get you to learn. So, to recap, figuring out who you are and making decisions based on your authentic, real self, and based on what it is that you want to do is important. But making a good decision is also important. So part of you, I feel like, wants to do something, but it's not a good decision. And so you go and you do it, and then you learn. The universe is like, well, that's not a good decision, and or the universe is like, well, why did you do that? And the shit hits the fan, and then you go, well, but you're telling me I need to make decisions, so I've made decisions, and the problem is they're poor ones. That's the problem, and they're not authentic to you. And also, there's people that believe, and the Geminis and Libras are like this. So you may have some Gemini Libra in your chart. Decisions are not, the definition of a decision is not doing something at the last minute because you have to, or because you got into a fight and you decided to leave, or because it's a reaction to something that's happened to you. A decision is not a reaction. A decision is something you come to, a conclusion you come to, based on you, not on external circumstances, okay? So I want you to practice good decision making, following the signs, thinking things through. The thing about the Gemini is they're an air sign, so they need to literally think things through before they make the decision. The problem that Gemini gets stuck in is that they either are overthinking or underthinking their decisions. they're not actually making the decisions most of the time. It's usually just a reaction or doing something because somebody wants them to do it, or it's just a reaction to something that somebody says or does. It's not because they really want to do it. So it's like, if you want to move, you need to make a map, a plan of all the things that you want to have happen, and go with the flow. And think it through and plan your journey, but be open to any kind of little rerouting or little turns or anything that may happen along the way. And and be open to that process of the journey thing. You know, that's important. So anyways, this was kind of an interesting reading for you. That's all that I'm really getting for it. And if you'd like a private reading, feel free to email me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com. And I'll be back again in mid-November with more videos. So stay tuned. And thanks so much. Okay, so I'm going to send you big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care.